Right. Now let's have a look at making your own style file, your own package, personalized for the things that you want to do. Have a look at my desktop, and I've called it Make Your Own Style. So one of the things you can do is create your own style file. You can call it anything you like, such as mystyle.sty, and include it in commands that change the appearance of your documents in a way that suits you. And then include in the preamble of all your documents, use package, and then embraces my style. But what do you put in such a style file? Well, some of the default things you want to use. So microtype, hyperref, color packages. You just put those in your mystyle.style, as I've got linked in just a little bit below. Show you that. So this is a bit more sophisticated, which you can download. Use color, use microtype if it exists, and use hyperref. Also got AMS math by default, that sort of thing. Now, what about page headings? We may like, rather than just having a page number at the bottom of each page, we quite like having headings at the top saying what the section is as well as the page number. So we'll include page style headings. But the default, as you may know, is that the heading is in an all capital style. One of the few decisions about LaTeX, which I think is poor, because all capitals is known to be hard to understand. It's known to be hard to read. So, what can we do about it? Well, we can be very naughty. And if we crunch a command called make uppercase, then the headers will no longer be uppercase because the headers use this make uppercase command. So after getting page style headers, we can renew command make uppercase. It has one argument, and we might want to make it green to stand out from the body text so people know that the header is not body text. And we might want to make it sans serif, and so that again it stands out from the body text because it doesn't have the little serifs. And then we say whatever was going to be in the header, be there. Green's a fairly ugly colour actually. I prefer olive green. It's a darker one. What else? You might want the title to appear in sans serif font. Right? Sans serif, like Arial, it's a popular font these days for no reason that I know of, and despite all the historical evidence. But if you like the heading to be in sans serif, that's okay, I think, because the evidence to prefer serif is in reading body text and a reader comprehending body text. It's not about reading a short, snappy title. So maybe it's fine. It's fine having sans serif titles and author information because people just aren't. It's not body text. Right? This is the sort of considerations you should think whenever you say, oh, I want to, or I like. I've got to say, oh, hang on a sec. You're creating a document for a reader, not for yourself. That's what's best for the reader. Okay, however, let's interfere with LaTeX and make the title sans serif. And remember, we interfere with LaTeX using the \let command because it defines a pointer to the current definition of a command. So if we say backslash let some name here, LTX make title, and then we go backslash make title, that will point LTX make title to the current definition of make title. And we follow it by renewing the command backslash make title and saying switch to a sans serif font, backslash SF, and then do LTX make title, which is the original make title. So, right, the let command empowers us to insert ourselves in the LaTeX processing. What about section headings? Right? Why are they bold? Why are they surrounded by space? Because they're there to make navigation easier. Bold and space helps us navigate to section headers. Color can also do that. So we can color it without hindering that navigation. Okay, for an abstract, to get the word abstract colored, that's pretty simple. You just renew command the abstract name with color blue abstract. That's easy. What about section headings? You could do much the same things we did for make title and interpose yourself in every section header. But it's more economical to delve into the LaTeX system, wherever that is on your computer, and have a look at the file latex.ltx, because that is the core LaTeX system. You look in there and you find the backslash start section is what is actually used to typeset every section header, whether it's a section, subsection, subsection, paragraph or subparagraph, not chapter headers. So instead you can interpose yourself into start section and that will cover all levels. Tricksy thing. So same sort of thing, let LTX at start section, you can call it anything you like, point to the original at start section, then renew the at start section so that whenever it subsequently gets invoked, it will now execute this current definition. And what are we going to define it to do? We're going to define it to be the original start section, because that's what LTX start section points to, followed by 6 arguments. Well, it's got 6. And with a bit of hunting around, we know to change the 6th argument to put a color blue in there and also to make the section header ragged right. I find that convenient. Means that section headers will never overrun a page, overrun a line. So in this redefinition, remember that the at character acts as a letter in a .sty file, but is not a letter in a .tex file. A beautiful two-faced character, the at. Okay, so the mystyle.sty does that and a few other things. So it's got cleverref and a few defaults. It's got a patch if you want to use show keys. It's got the sans serif title. It's got the very naughty crunching of make uppercase so that the section headers are good. And it redefines at start section as I've just defined, as well as abstract name and a few other things. I've also included partial derivatives in VEC, just in case you have to upset some partial derivatives in VEC. So let's see that tried. Here is one of the fractal documents, chunk, 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 11-point A4 paper, page style headings. Actually, I don't need that, do I? Because it's in the mystyle.style. So let's get rid of it. Got some graphics. So the one package which isn't in the mystyle was a graphics thing. If you use graphics almost all the time, you could include it in the style file. It's no big deal. Typeset. There we go. Typeset it twice to get everything done. Look at that. See, it's all swung into action. Sans serif title, blue abstract, section commands blue. The hypertext links are no longer a garish red, they're a more muted color, so they don't attract they don't unnecessarily attract the eye when they're in body text. Let's have a look at that. We've got our figure. The figure caption is now a different color to say, hey, I'm the caption, I'm not the body text. And here are the section commands. They're nice blue that attracts the eye, as well as being bold, surrounded by space. Figures, blues. Ah, it's beautiful. Oh, page headers. I haven't seen the page headers. Olive green, no longer all capitals, easier for a reader to comprehend. Table to finish off with, as well as the references. All right, and the thing is, every document you then do, you can just do use package mystyle and you get all of those facilities that you like being done for you. Okay, put that away for a moment. Now let's talk about a little appreciated subtlety. Is it a style or is it an extension? Now, most people just overlook the distinction here, but it is very important in your use of LaTeX. You want to define something. Should it go in your style file or not? And the answer to that question is another question. Will your LaTeX document still typeset without error if your style file is not used? It's a good question, right? So you give, for example, you're working with your collaborator, you give it to a collaborator, but it's your style file, right? So don't give him your style file because it's got your personal taste in there. Is it going to typeset for your collaborator? So if the answer is yes to that second question, then include whatever you've defined in a style file in the true sense, because it's just a file that changes the style, such as for vec, \vec. If the answer is no, such as for the partial derivative functions, \d and \d, if you use those commands and you give it to your collaborator and you don't give him the style file that those are defined in, then it won't typeset. Right? Then the difference is \d and \d extend the functionality of LaTeX. They are new logical structures that generate a new output. In that sense, those two commands are not suitable for a style file in the true sense. Instead, they should go into a separate definitions file, which just happens to also have an extension .style. But it's got some other names such as definitions.style, because they are definitions that your document has to have in order to typeset properly, in order to typeset. as opposed to a style file, which, strictly speaking, only changes the appearance. Okay, so that is, I'm recommending you maintain two types of style file. A file of definitions, the definitions that extend the logic and functionality of LaTeX, and a file that you must share with collaborators and with journals when you submit. Otherwise, your LaTeX won't work at all. The second type of style file is a style file in the true sense that only affects the appearance of the resultant document by changing the way that commands and environments translate from the logical LaTeX into the physical appearance. Keep this style file to yourself because it only reflects your own personal peccadillos. Right. Two, it's a distinction many people don't realise they should make. Now, what else? Working with publisher styles and classes. Right. So the scenario is you've written your dissertation or you're in process, you want to take, say, a chapter of that and make it into a submission to a journal or a conference or something like that. What's some of the mechanisms? Most publishers and conference proceedings have their own LaTeX style and class files, and they will state that you must use this. Now, there's problems here. Almost all of those style of class files are a decade or so out of date. I can guarantee it. Some are 20 years old. Avoid using them until you know your submission is accepted. Right, if they're going to reject you, it's just not worth trying to grapple your modern LaTeX with their ancient ideas about LaTeX. However, when your submission is accepted, then supposedly you do have to work with their style files and somehow make it work with the advanced modern LaTeX that you have coded as the next generation. And the problem is these often conflict, right? So how do you resolve it? Well, let's have a look at how you may resolve it in one particular scenario. And one conflict is that most publishers define environments for theorems and similar corollaries, lemmas, definitions, etc. But you want to use cleverref. Cleverref requires that definition of theorem-like environments occur after the use package cleverref. And mostly, in fact, I've yet to see a journal or a conference proceedings that uses cleverref. So if you want to use cleverref, you're going to have to put it in. So what do? Well, somewhat naughtily, well, we're having a good day, aren't we? You have to tell LaTeX to forget what the publisher has defined. And the let command comes in handy to do this, along with a thing called \relax. So to tell LaTeX to forget theorem, forget corollary, that's what you do. You say \let theorem relax. It points theorem, corollary, whatever, to \relax. And relax is, maybe it's poorly named, but it's just nothing. It's a nothing thing. You also have to point the counter for theorems and any other counters they define that may cause trouble to be relaxed. And if that command is not in the style file, we need the app to be treated as a letter. So we surround it by \makeAtLetter and \makeAtOther. Okay, then you can do your cleverref. Right, standard sort of thing for cleverref. Then after that, use new theorem to redefine theorems, corollaries, definitions, lemmas, whatever. Okay, other conflict scenarios are handled similarly. So that's good. However, be warned that commercial publishers often simply send your accepted manuscript to India or similar third world country to be completely retypeset afresh. That is, whatever beautiful LaTeX you and I do, and coded and supplied, even using their own style files, often it's completely ignored. Okay. Nonetheless, using packages, making your own, is a way to employ the hard work of many people around the world, and also work that you've done in generating definitions for your use. But remember, if you want to do something building on LaTeX, out of the ordinary LaTeX, someone else probably has a package to do it. So do go and have a look. Right, so that's about using packages